All right. Last time we looked at interest, and here we have some questions that we're going to look at, and this is simple interest. Tumi has set aside 800 per month for the last 2 years. He then decided to invest this money in a bank in order to put down a deposit to buy a house. Tumi approached the bank that offered him 12.5% per annum simple interest for the period of 36 months. Calculate the amount that Tommy will be able to invest in the bank if he's going to invest the total amount he has set aside. All right. So all we need to know is we get the 800. We shall get the 800. We shall get the 800. $800 times the 24 months because it's in 2 years, and this money was monthly, which becomes 19,200. That's the money it's going to invest. This is question 1.1. All right. It says now, determine the interest he has, determine the interest he will earn from the bank. Remember, he has invested the money, this much money. This is much money. The interest is here. Since it's simple interest, we shall say, when we are looking at 1.2, we shall take the 12.5% times the 19,200. This is only interest for only 1 year. Interest for only 1 year. And we end up having, but remember the bank is giving him the, is going to bank for 36 months. We have to turn this into years. So it becomes what? 3 years. So we shall come here the interest, we multiply by 3 years. And the final answer becomes the final answer becomes 7,000. 7,200 interest. That's the interest. All right, let's check on the question again. We look at 1.3. What is the total amount that he will receive at the end of the investment? In other words, we are looking at 1.3 total amount at the end of the investment. Remember, the investment is going to last for 3 years. So the end of the 3 years, remember, he would have got the interest plus the money that he invested, the original amount of money that he invested. So simple terms, this becomes 7,200 plus the principal amount, which was 19,200. 19,200. Let's check how much we get there when we add this. Very good. Someone has got 26,400. 26,400. Sorry. Spent 6,400. It's the money for the investment. All right, we go to question number 2. To me, the same person managed to find the house of his dreams. The price of the house was 549,000. He then applied for a loan, for a home loan at the bank because he did not have the entire amount. He decided to pay 11.5% deposit. Now, question 2.1, it asks you, calculate how much to me, had to put down as deposit for the house. Remember, the person is going to pay 11.5% of cash money as deposit. So what you're going to do here, all you'd have to do, question 2.1, we are looking at deposit. And they told you deposit is 11.5% of what? Of the cash amount. I'll call it the cash money. So you shall say 1.5 over 100 times the money should have got the house for cash. So you take 11 times the money, the deposit is supposed to be 63,135 deposit. Are we there? That was 2.1. All right, 2.2. If to me uses the money received from the bank at the end of the investment term, will he have enough money to pay for the deposit? Show by means of calculation. All right, we come back and say we're looking at 2.2. They're asking us, will the invested amount, money after the investment, money after the 3 years, will it be enough for the deposit? Will it be enough for the deposit? So all you have to do, get the needed deposit, minus the investment, the accumulated amount of money. Minus the invest. So the deposit is supposed to be 36,000 minus 26,400. With it, 33,135 minus that much. So which will be 735. This is shorting. So your conclusion has to be, it's not enough. It's not enough. All right, question number 2.3. That's where we are going now. 2.3, take note of that. 2.3. Tommy learns that he will have to pay a monthly installment of 5,380 over a period of 20 years. If 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 the interest rate does not change, show with calculations that the total amount paid, including the deposit, will be 1,354,335 rands. All right, let's do that. Number one, we need to know how much will be accumulated in the 20 years. That's number one part of it. So let's go to our board. We shall say we are answering 2.3.1. We shall say, how long is, okay, how many months do we have in 20 years? So we shall say 20 times 12. So we have 240. In other words, these are the installments that she made. These are the installments. So each installment was worth 500, 800, 5,000, 5,380. Each installment was worth 5,308. So all in all, how much do we have? So we write it down. We have 1,290,1,200 rands. You see that? Plus the deposit. Plus the deposit. Now take note. 1,291,200 plus the deposit. A flashback. Our deposit is up here. This one here, 63,135. We write it here, 63,135. We add it on. Indeed, we come up with the answer. So we've shown it. One, you look for how many installments are there. Each installment, how much was it? At the end, how much do I pay? Afterwards, after paying this, remember I should also include the deposit. So I included the deposit. So I show off the answer. So I've proven it. I've proved it. It has been proven. All right. 2.3.2. How much money would Tumi have paid by the end of the 20 years? They're asking. How much money would Tumi have paid by the end of 20? How much more money by the end of 20? Now, how much more money we are looking at? 2.3.2. We are saying how much more money. This more here asks us to subtract. It shows us that we need to subtract. But subtract what and what? Remember, once she buys the house on cash, she doesn't pay deposit, and she doesn't pay interest. But now, because she has no cash, she has to buy money and hire purchase or take a home loan. So simply meaning the money the person has paid in 20 years versus the money that the person would have paid once off, which is the cash money. So we subtract the two, which is, remember the money that you were supposed to pay, it's 549,000. So when you subtract the two, 549,000, how much money? It's what? 805,335 rands. So this is how much more. Okay. We come to the other question, which says 2.3.3. Can you get the percentage interest that Tumi would have paid by the end of 20 years if the monthly installment did not change? Round off your answer to one decimal place. We come back to the whiteboard. What I want you to understand is that once you are looking for the interest as a percentage, so this is 2.3.3. We are saying interest, not interest rate, but interest as a percentage. So the formula will be interest divided by the original amount of money. Because it's a percentage, we need to multiply by 100. So we shall say 1,354,335 minus the cash money, that's the original, divided by the same amount times 100. So we shall end up having a percentage which is 147, sorry, 46.69%. They said round off to the nearest to round off to one decimal place becomes that much. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. This is a car. This is still under finance, paper one. What is the cash price of the car? We have two places that will tell us the cash price. Number one, you look into the advert. Number one, look into the advert. This money here is the cash money, the cash amount or the cash price. So just write it down there. 221,108. If a person decides to pay the vehicle installments, determine the number of years it will take to pay the vehicle. Number of years. Remember, we are given months, they are not years. So all you have to do, get the months, you turn them into years, divide by 12, and you get your answers 5 years. This is not that hard, ma. All right, that's not hard. Okay, calculate the deposit amount. Calculate the deposit amount needed. Deposit amount needed. Now, when you take a look at the question or the scenario, we check the table here. Deposit is this much. So if you're to take the deposit needed, it will be 11 over 100 times the cash money. 11 over 100 times the cash money. Which is 24,329.80 cents. Deposit. Deposit is that much. Okay. So let's look here. Show by means of calculation that the total payment. Show that the means of calculation, the total payment is this much. The total payment, it's here. Remember, what are you going to include here? We cannot include interest. It's fine. We cannot include the cash money. But it's supposed to be the deposit plus the monthly installment. Deposit plus the monthly installment. You do that. Do that for me. deposit plus the monthly installment. Remember, the monthly installment is for every month. Deposit is once off that you have paid for it. So we shall get the monthly installment times 60 plus deposit that we've just seen, which is 24,329.80 plus the residue. The residue is that other amount of money that's remaining to be paid once off. So here we say, we are saying we are adding deposit, we are adding the residue, monthly installment. So this answer here comes from these three. Deposit, of which we've already looked for. See here, residue, the last money that you pay for the installment. Then we have 299. So we shall say this is question number 3.4. We are saying deposit plus residue plus the monthly installments. So deposit, we've seen it as 24,329.80 plus the monthly installments 290 200 200 2,991 times 60 plus the residue, which was 99,210. Indeed, when you add this, since you're showing, the answer will come out. How much will the person paying cash save compared to the person paying in installments? So simple. Get the money the person paying in installment would have paid at the end of the 5 years minus the cash money, which is 221,180. All right. Whatever remains is what the person would have saved. Which is around 81,827.80. What method of payment is better? What method of payment would be better? The cash payment would be better since one doesn't have to pay interest of over 10.5%, and the amount is low, and there will not you not have a residue on cash amount. All right, let's do our last question. This question allow me, because it looks to be big, it's 10 marks, or we shall have to use the whiteboard straight away. All right, this is our whiteboard. All right, let's read the question before we start tackling it. It says, Mr. Moleko has two options for borrowing money. His uncle has offered to loan him 16,000 for 5 years at a simple interest of 18% per annum. And the bank is offering him a personal loan of 16,000 for 5 years at 16% compound interest per annum. Show all calculations to determine which option that will be best for Mr. Maleko. Okay, we need to use a whiteboard. Here we go. We say Mr. Maleko, he has two options. Option 1, he takes money from his uncle and he pays 18% per annum under simple interest. Or option 2, he takes the bank and it charges him 16% per annum compound what? Interest. Compound interest. Anyway, let's find out which option will be better. This one's from the uncle. This is from the bank. All right, option number 1, simple interest. So what we are going to do, remember the money he wants to take is 160,000. He needs this money. So what he's going to do, let's do a simple interest. Simple interest. Simple interest, it will be 18 over 100 times 160,000, just interest. Let's do that. What we end up having, so the interest is the money is going to borrow is 16,000, not 7. The money that is borrowing is 16,000, not 100. And so the interest for only 1 year will be this much. But remember, the person is good. It's for simple interest for 5 years. So you multiply by 5, you get 14,400. So plus the initial amount of money, 16,000. So you end up having 30,400. 30,400. That is simple interest. Okay. Let's come to compound. Compound interest. Compound interest, remember, it keeps accumulating. Interest is charged on interest. The interest you get in term 1 is charged in term 2. You know, it earns interest as time goes on. Anyway, for 5 years. The simple compound interest I would like us to learn is, since it's 16, we shall take 100% plus 16%, which equals 116%. Remember, there is 116%, it means over 100. So I need to put it in that I get it as a decimal now. So here we go. 1,16 times the money the person has borrowed. I'm doing compound now. So in the first year, it would have accumulated some interest and it would be this much. So the second year, we shall do this. But instead of multiplying with this, we shall multiply with this one here. It's accumulating. We shall have to do 5 steps because the money is invested for, sorry, the money is taken for 5 years. The loan will be paid back in 5 years. Okay, come again. 1, 6 times 2, 4, 9, 7, 4, comma 3, 4 equals to 28,000. So under compound, this is the last part. This is our first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and the fifth year. So in if you use compound interest, 5 years, you would have to pay back this much. Simple interest, you would have to pay back this much. So since it's a loan, option 1 is better. Option 1 is better. Thank you very much. See you when we see each other. Bye-bye.